Okay, week 7 for math, we're going to continue learning about the Pythagorean theorem, and we're going to look for the leg this time. Last week we looked for the hypotenuse, but this week we're going to look at the leg. Ms. Hartman has an introductory video here, but for Monday you are required to do the dream box, which is 3 lessons on dream box. Don't forget about that. Remember, you go through Clever. And then the check-in form, and you can find the check-in form right here. So on the check-in form, there are a few math problems to do, a review from last week. So I wanted to go through those. Remember our formula, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And last week, everything we did was looking for the c. So 8 and 15 would be our a and b. So 8 squared plus 15 squared is c squared. And 8 squared, that's 64. And 15 squared is 225. And then you would add that together. So that adds up to 289. And then the final step was to take the square root of 289, which is 17. So 17 is C for our first warm-up problem. And then our second one is the 3-4 right triangle. And I already know that it's going to be 5. The 3, 4, 5, that's a famous one. But let's go ahead and work it out. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. And we're going to sub in. We're looking for the c. So we're going to do 3 squared plus 4 squared is c squared. So 9 and 16 is c squared. And that adds up to 25 for c squared. And then the square root of 25 is 5. So that's a very famous right triangle, the 3, 4, 5 triangle. So you have those 2 warm-up problems to do on the check-in form. And then we want to know, what are you being successful with distance learning so far, and are there any things that are causing you frustration? And a little survey, you can check more than one here, just how you're feeling. And is there anything that Ms. Hartman or I can do to support you during this time? Is there anything you need us to know? And then make sure that you hit submit. So that's the Monday work, the dream box and that check-in. And I wanted to take a peek at the learn slide for Tuesday. So the learn slide, you have 2 choices. You're going to take the smiley face and drag it over whichever choice you prefer. And the first one is just, you can do paper pencil examples or open it and explain everything. And Ms. Hartman makes a video that goes through all of these practice problems. Once you've done all the practice problems, I think there's 6 of them, you're going to take a picture or submit a picture of your notes on the next slide. Or you could choose a Desmos activity and just skip slide 9, but make sure you do all of the Desmos activities on there. So here are the 6 examples that you'll see that Ms. Hartman will do. And I just wanted to show you this first one. Let me move this out of the way. See how this is a little bit different from last week? We're still using the same formula, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, but now we have the c. So this is going to be a squared we don't know plus 3 squared equals 5 squared. So then a squared plus 9 equals 25, and then this is a one-step equation. So you'd subtract 9 from both sides to get a squared by itself, which is 16. And then your last step is to take the square root of 16. So in this one, a is 4. So there's that 3, 4, 5 triangle again. But do you see how we had to use inverse operations here, and we had to subtract on this one. So when we're looking for a leg, we have to subtract because we were given the hypotenuse. So it's a little twist this week, but we're going to practice it repeatedly. So these examples, you would just jot these little triangles down. Watch her video. She goes over every single question and every single answer. So it's just like doing examples and taking notes. And oh, how cute. She put my name in here and talked about my cat, and Mr. Vaughn is in this one. So there's a couple word problems to go through as well. Okay, so when you do your notes examples, you're going to put a picture right here on this slide of those so we can see that those are done. So that's my suggestion for the Learn activity on Tuesday. So today, Dreambox check-in and take those notes, and then you'll attach a picture of the notes on the next slide.